I actually had been playing music for a while before I discovered that I had a passion for it, because I started playing guitar when I was about 7, so I think at that point you're not really serious about anything. Once I got to a skill level where I could play things that I heard and they sounded how I wanted them to, or at least somewhat like that, I actually started enjoying playing and music itself. And once I got on the worship team at my church, I really found that passion, I would say, and I really enjoyed playing in front of people and just the whole experience itself. After I'd been on the worship team for a little bit, I got into a local band and we started playing shows, and I started actually writing music that was then like performed for people, and the fulfillment of that is what really, I think, striked my passion. Yeah, then I really liked the feeling of writing music and then playing it, and I've always been driven by trying to be creative and pushing stuff forward on that edge. And once I started doing that, I realized that what I really wanted to do with writing music was write music for people that wouldn't usually listen to Christian music. People that aren't Christians don't usually turn on the Christian radio station and want to listen to that type of music, and I wanted them to still hear that same message through music. So that became one of the things that really pushes me, I would think, on a day-to-day basis, is just being able to write stuff that's still cool and doesn't have the Christian label on it. And I wanted to make music that, or I want to make music that doesn't scare people off but still has that positive outlet for people to listen to. Music for me has always been different because there's so much more to it, I think, than other things. There's just all the different aspects of creativity, and you have the technology aspect of it, you have working with people, and just all of that combined. I think there's nothing really quite like it. It kind of combines every emotion, every feeling brought out through something like that, and it's just that you can play a song or write a song and have the fulfillment is just undescribable, because you could have songs that are happy, sad, angry, thoughtful, and with everything else it's kind of just not as fulfilling. When people hear music that I write or I'm involved in, I really want them to connect with the music itself. I think, especially in today's culture and the songs that are biggest now, people get too distracted or don't get into it enough that you just kind of accept the song at face value. For me, music's just not really about that. It's a lot more. It's about the layers, the harmonies, the backgrounds, the little details that take a song from being just people playing some parts to an actual creative, song, a creative piece. And I think the best way to really get that is to listen to an album or an EP from the start to finish. I take the time to think about each part, and I want it to sound like this. When you hear it, I want you to picture this image, and then to make that image, the question isn't, oh, does this sound cool or not? It's, does that make the image more achievable or not? Music is about making an image based on sound, through sound. When you hear it, you picture this, or you can feel certain ways based on the sounds that you're hearing. And so that's one thing that any kind of music that I write or even just am a part of, that's one thing that I always focus on, is enhancing that image. And I want to make sure that anyone who hears the music can picture the same general idea. So if you can go through and really listen to all the songs or albums just all the way through with an open mind and really let yourself get into those details and the layers of it, I think you'll really get to know me as a person and things that I care about. And advice to new musicians or young musicians would definitely be practice, practice, and practice. I really can't stress that enough, and it's not even just practicing as in, oh, I'm gonna play for this much time every day. It's no, if you're gonna practice, you need to practice and get your technical skills to a level where when you think of something in your head, there's no barrier between that and it coming out through your instrument. You need to be at a point where your technical skills don't hold you back from your creativity. You need to be able to have an idea or an emotion or a thought really in your head and be able to just express that freely through your instrument. I think you need to never be happy with where you're at. You always need to be looking forward, striving to a new goal. How can I be more creative? How can I make my songs better? How can I write more efficiently? How can I get this feeling out of my music more? So if you feel like you're happy with where you're at, you're probably not going to ever get any farther than where you are. Also, I would say you need to learn to listen to music in a different way. Don't just turn on a song and casually listen. Listen to what does it how does it sound like this guitar was played? How does it sound like this drum was hit to make it sound like that? And furthermore, like, what sounds you like? How can I recreate that or something similar? And being able to use that without trying to be anyone else or copy anyone else. You know, when you learn other people's songs, play it your own way. You don't have to play exactly the way they do. And when you write something, if it sounds like somebody else, you don't have to necessarily be, oh, I can never use this, but just change it slightly, make it your own way, be creative with it, and I would say above all else, always be creative.